In the quiet corners of the UK behind perfectly ordinary doors, dwell secrets that refuse to stay buried. These are houses where the walls remember screams, where shadows move even when no one is there, and where those who enter often wonder if they will ever leave the same. Tonight we take you inside the top 10 most haunted houses in the UK. Real sightings, chilling legends, and ghostly encounters await in each of these homes. Some of these stories are so disturbing, locals refuse to speak of them, and visitors swear they still feel the eyes of the dead watching from within. From centuries-old manors to modest cottages, the spirits in these houses are not polite guests. They are permanent residents with unfinished business, and they don't like strangers. Prepare yourself because once we step inside there is no turning back. Haunted House Number 1, Borley Rectory, Essex. Borley Rectory has earned its reputation as the most haunted house in England, a title earned through decades of terrifying accounts and investigations. Built in the 19th century on land said to have once been a monastery, the rectory quickly gained notoriety for unexplained occurrences that defied logic. Witnesses report doors opening and slamming on their own, lights flickering without cause, and furniture moving seemingly by invisible hands. But the most famous hauntings are the apparitions of phantom nuns. Locals tell of pale figures gliding silently through the halls, their faces obscured by veils, their footsteps making no sound on the creaking floors. One of the earliest recorded incidents involved Reverend Henry Bull, who lived in the rectory in the 1920s. He and his family reported seeing shadowy figures in windows, hearing knocks and raps in rooms where no one was present, and even witnessing the ghostly nun appear at the top of the staircase, watching them. Visitors over the years have also claimed to experience cold spots so intense that their breath turned to mist, sudden feelings of dread, and the sensation of being watched. Paranormal investigators documented strange sounds on tape, whispers, footsteps, and doors opening with no one near. One investigator famously reported hearing a voice clearly say, "Go away." The rectory's haunting escalated until a fire in 1939 left it in ruins. Yet even after its destruction, many believe the spirits remain, wandering the grounds, continuing their silent vigil over the site where so much tragedy and fear unfolded. Borley Rectory is a chilling reminder that some houses are never truly empty. Number 2, Pluckley Manor, Kent. Pluckley Manor, located in the village often called the most haunted in England, is surrounded by thick woods and winding country roads. By day, it appears serene and picturesque, but by night it becomes a place where history refuses to rest. The most famous spirit is the Lady in White, a ghostly figure said to roam the manor and its grounds. Witnesses describe her as wearing a long flowing dress, her face pale and unreadable, appearing suddenly in hallways or at the top of the grand staircase. Some have claimed she glides silently across rooms, vanishing when approached, leaving behind only the faint scent of old perfume. But the hauntings are not limited to one ghost. Visitors report seeing spectral soldiers marching through the grounds, armor clanking, their faces hidden under helmets. They appear as if frozen in time, remnants of centuries-old battles, forever patrolling the land they once fought to defend. Locals also speak of inexplicable sounds, footsteps echoing across empty corridors, doors opening and closing, and sudden drops in temperature that chill the air to bone-deep cold. On several occasions, visitors have felt an unseen hand brush against their shoulder or experienced the sensation of being followed as they explore the property. Paranormal investigators have captured unusual readings, including sudden spikes in electromagnetic fields and disembodied voices caught on audio recorders. Some guests have reported hearing whispers warning them to leave, while others have felt pressure against their chest as if the spirits are asserting their presence. Pluckley Manor is a chilling reminder that some houses are not just haunted by one ghost but by the lingering echoes of centuries of life, death, and unrest. As you prepare for the next house, brace yourself because its dark history will make you question whether any home can truly be safe. Number 3, Hampton Court Palace, London. Hampton Court Palace is one of London's most famous historical landmarks, renowned for its grandeur, gardens, and royal history. But behind its ornate walls lies a darker story, a place where whispers of the past linger and the echoes of tragic deaths still haunt the corridors. The most infamous spirit is that of Catherine Howard, the fifth wife of King Henry VIII. Executed for adultery, her restless presence is said to roam the palace, particularly in the areas once reserved for the royal apartments. Visitors report hearing sudden cries of distress, faint sobbing in empty hallways, and glimpses of a young woman in Tudor dress vanishing when approached. But Catherine is not alone. Other Tudor-era apparitions have been seen, including shadowy figures of courtiers, servants, and guards, seemingly replaying scenes from centuries past. Some claim to have seen a full procession of court officials gliding silently through the Great Hall, their faces pale and indistinct, as if trapped between life and death. Paranormal investigators and staff have reported flickering lights, sudden cold spots, and objects moving inexplicably. Some visitors feel an intense presence as though someone is following them from room to room, yet when they turn no one is there. In certain chambers, the sense of dread is so overwhelming that guests have left immediately, claiming they could not bear the oppressive atmosphere. Hampton Court Palace is a vivid reminder that even the most magnificent homes can hold dark secrets. The spirits here are bound not by walls or time, but by history itself, carrying the weight of betrayal, death, and injustice. Number 4. Chillingham Castle, Northumberland. Chillingham Castle stands in the wilds of Northumberland, its stone walls steeped in centuries of bloodshed and dark history. Often called one of the most haunted castles in the UK, it has a reputation for terrifying visitors with its violent apparitions, spectral children, and the lingering presence of prisoners long dead. The castle's past is riddled with brutality. Torture chambers and dungeons held countless inmates, many of whom met gruesome fates. It is said that the violent deaths have left a mark, and the castle still resonates with the screams and anguish of those who suffered there. Visitors report hearing chains rattling, anguished cries echoing through empty halls, and ghostly figures darting in the corners of their eyes. One of the most famous phenomena is the presence of ghostly children. Sightings of small, pale figures wandering the corridors are common, and some appear to vanish into the walls or floor as observers approach. It is believed these children may be the spirits of young victims who died within the castle or those trapped in the violent history that surrounds it. Some guests describe feeling cold hands gripping their shoulders or sudden drops in temperature as they explore the castle's ancient chambers. Others have captured eerie voices on audio recorders, whispered threats, distant screams, and disembodied footsteps that do not correspond with any living visitor. In the White Room, one of the most notorious locations, guests often feel a heavy, suffocating presence, as though the air itself has been tainted by centuries of suffering. Chillingham Castle is not just a home to ghosts, it is a monument to fear itself. Every stone seems to hold a story, every corridor conceals a shadow, and the castle's history continues to reach out from the past, reminding all who enter that some places are never truly at peace. Number 5. Bury Pomeroy Castle, Devon. Bury Pomeroy Castle sits in the rolling hills of Devon, its crumbling walls and overgrown grounds a haunting reminder of centuries past. Though the castle is now a ruin, it is far from empty. Locals and visitors alike tell stories of ghostly apparitions that appear without warning, creating an unsettling atmosphere that lingers long after the sun sets. The most famous resident is the White Lady, a spectral figure seen wandering the corridors and grounds in a flowing white gown. Some say she was a young noblewoman who met a tragic end at the hands of her jealous family. Witnesses have reported glimpsing her in doorways, her pale face etched with sorrow, only to vanish when approached, leaving behind a sudden chill that fills the air. Another dark presence is the figure in black robes, often glimpsed in the castle's shadowed corners. This ghostly figure is said to glide silently through the halls, its motives unknown, but the fear it generates is unmistakable. Visitors have felt an oppressive presence, as if being watched or followed, with sudden cold spots and eerie whispers filling the air around them. Some of the most terrifying experiences involve strange noises, footsteps echoing along stairways where no one walks, doors creaking open by themselves, and distant cries that seem to come from nowhere. Paranormal investigators have recorded these unexplained sounds, along with sudden drops in temperature and unexplained movements caught on video, reinforcing the castle's reputation as one of the UK's most haunted locations. Bury Pomeroy Castle is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. The stories of lost love, jealousy, and violent ends replay endlessly through its ruins, ensuring that anyone who steps inside feels the lingering presence of spirits bound to the castle by tragedy and unresolved sorrow. And as we leave the haunting echoes of Bury Pomeroy behind, the next house takes us further into the depths of history, where spirits of a bygone era linger in the shadows, waiting for the next unwary visitor to cross their path. Number 6. Framlingham Castle, Suffolk. Framlingham Castle rises from the Suffolk countryside, its imposing walls and towers a reminder of medieval England. By day the castle attracts tourists with its history and scenic views, but by night, it transforms into a place where the past never truly rests. The most famous ghost is known simply as the Lady of the Castle. Clad in flowing robes, she appears on the ramparts or wandering the courtyards, her face pale and expressionless. Some believe she was a noblewoman betrayed and murdered within these walls, her spirit forever patrolling the castle grounds, searching for justice or release. Visitors have reported feeling sudden chills, hearing soft sobs in empty rooms, and glimpsing shadows moving with deliberate intent. But the lady is not the castle's only spectral resident. The castle is said to be haunted by the spirits of medieval soldiers and prisoners who once defended or were held within its walls. Footsteps echo through the stone corridors, doors creak open with no one near, and shadowy figures vanish when approached. Some have seen armored knights marching silently along the battlements, as if replaying a battle lost centuries ago. Paranormal investigations here have recorded strange sounds and eerie apparitions, and visitors often leave with an uneasy feeling that they were never truly alone. Locals speak of an oppressive presence that lingers long after dark, a weight of history that seems almost alive. Framlingham Castle is a chilling reminder that the events of the past never truly disappear. The lady and her spectral companions continue to haunt the place, their stories etched into the very stones. Number 7. Leap Castle. Leap Castle is infamous for its violent history and chilling hauntings. Though its roots are primarily in Ireland, legends tie certain British families to its halls, making it a place where the echoes of bloodshed and betrayal cross borders. The castle has seen centuries of feuds, murders, and imprisonment, and it is said that the spirits of those who died violently remain trapped within its stone walls. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported seeing shadowy figures darting along corridors, only to vanish moments later. These dark presences often appear where the castle's most gruesome acts occurred, including hidden chambers and dungeons where prisoners were tortured. Some claim to have felt sudden, overwhelming dread in certain rooms, as if the air itself remembers the horrors of the past. One of the most terrifying spirits is known as the Elemental, a dark, malevolent presence that has been linked to intense fear, unexplained injuries, and even aggressive encounters with those who dare enter its domain. Witnesses describe a feeling of being watched, followed, or even physically touched by an invisible force. Despite the castle's ruins and the passage of time, Leap Castle's haunted reputation endures. Visitors report cold spots, disembodied voices, and the unsettling sensation that the walls themselves are alive with memory. The castle serves as a reminder that some places hold more than history, they hold the very energy of those who met tragic and violent ends. As we leave the dark corridors of Leap Castle behind, the next haunted house takes us to a place where Tudor-era tragedies and restless spirits continue to disturb anyone who dares to explore. Number 8. Coughton Court, Warwickshire. Coughton Court, a Tudor-era manor in Warwickshire, is famous not only for its architecture and history but also for its restless spirits. For centuries, the manor has been home to tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena that have left visitors questioning the line between the living and the dead. One of the most well-known ghosts is that of a Tudor-era family member, said to roam the halls dressed in period attire. Witnesses have reported seeing this figure appear suddenly in doorways or along staircases, only to vanish when approached. Others have heard whispers in empty rooms, faint laughter, and the subtle sound of footsteps echoing through the manor when no one is present. The manor's history is steeped in intrigue, betrayal, and tragedy. Secret passages and hidden rooms hint at a past filled with conflict and sorrow, and some believe the spirits of those who lived and died here are still bound to the property. Visitors often feel sudden chills, a heavy presence, or even a sense of being watched as they explore the estate. Paranormal investigators have captured strange readings throughout the manor, including unexplained temperature drops, electromagnetic disturbances, and disembodied voices caught on audio recorders. Some guests claim to have seen shadowy figures moving across hallways or glimpsed pale faces staring from darkened corners. Coughton Court reminds us that history does not always remain in the past. The spirits of those who suffered, lived, and died here continue to linger, leaving behind a haunting legacy that any visitor cannot easily forget. Number 9, Tatton Hall, Cheshire. Tatton Hall, an elegant country mansion in Cheshire, seems serene by day, but its long history hides shadows that refuse to rest. Built in the 18th century, the hall has witnessed generations of family life, yet behind the grandeur lies a darker side, where servants, residents, and visitors have all reported strange and terrifying experiences. The most common sightings involve ghostly servants, seen performing tasks that no longer need doing. Witnesses describe shadowy figures in the corridors, polishing silverware or moving through rooms with silent precision, only to vanish when approached. Some have reported sudden, unexplained footsteps following them from room to room, or the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Other visitors recount glimpsing full apparitions, pale faces peering from windows or sudden glimpses of figures dressed in clothing from centuries past. Doors open and close without cause, and some have experienced strange cold spots that seem to move along with them. Paranormal investigators have recorded whispers, knocks, and faint cries, adding to the hall's eerie reputation. Tatton Hall's atmosphere is made heavier by its tragic history. Tales of untimely deaths, strict households, and servants who never left the property alive seem to have left an imprint on the mansion. Guests often speak of feelings of unease, as if the walls themselves are infused with memory, watching and judging anyone who dares to enter. Tatton Hall reminds us that even in the most stately homes, the past never truly fades. The spirits linger, replaying their routines, their sorrows, and their unrest for anyone who is sensitive enough to notice. Number 10, Torre Abbey, Devon. Torre Abbey, standing in Torquay since 1196, is a place where history clings to every stone. Once a monastery for Premonstratensian canons, it later became a grand family home. Over the centuries, it has seen devotion, wealth, scandal, and death. Today it is a museum and gallery, but when the visitors leave and the halls fall silent, the air shifts. Shadows seem thicker. Every footstep seems to echo too long. The most chilling reports come from the abbey's cloisters. Late at night, staff and investigators have heard whispers, low, hurried voices speaking in a language no one understands. Some say it is medieval Latin. Others claim it is older, a dialect lost to time. These whispers grow louder the closer one walks toward the ancient chapter house, then fall silent in an instant, leaving only the pounding of your own heart. There are tales of a spectral woman dressed in gray who drifts along the upper galleries. Witnesses say she has no eyes, only empty sockets, yet she turns her head to follow you as you pass. She is believed to be the ghost of a nun who broke her vows, condemned by her order and left to waste away in solitude. Her spirit, some say, still searches for absolution she will never receive. In the gardens, under moonlight, figures have been spotted gliding between the hedges, tall, thin shapes that vanish when approached. Dogs brought to the grounds grow agitated, barking at corners of the old walls where nothing is visible. Photographs taken here have revealed strange orbs and dark, human-like silhouettes standing where no one had been moments earlier. One of the abbey's most enduring legends speaks of a secret tunnel running from the cellars to the sea, used for smuggling in later centuries. Locals claim that at night, the sound of boots striking stone can be heard along the route, accompanied by the smell of salt water and tar. The footsteps stop abruptly, as though whoever or whatever is walking has realized they're not alone. Even seasoned paranormal investigators describe Torre Abbey as a place that breathes in the dark. They speak of unseen hands brushing against their skin, sudden plunges in temperature, and an oppressive feeling that someone is standing directly behind them. Many refuse to return alone after their first visit. Torre Abbey is more than a historical monument. It's a vault of human sins and sorrows, a place where centuries of devotion and betrayal have soaked into the walls. And for those who dare to visit after sundown, the Abbey offers a chilling reminder. Some parts of the past will never rest quietly. As we step away from these haunted walls and silent corridors, take a moment to let the story sink in. Each house, castle, and manor holds a piece of history, but also a shadow of the past that refuses to fade. From the restless Tudor spirits of Hampton Court to the whispering cloisters of Torre Abbey, these places remind us that the echoes of human tragedy never truly vanish. If you were shivering at any of the tales we've explored tonight, share which house unsettled you the most in the comments below. Have you visited a haunted location or had an encounter you can't explain? We want to hear your stories. Don't forget to like and share this video if it sent shivers down your spine, and subscribe to the channel to join us as we uncover even more haunted places across the UK and beyond. Remember, some doors once opened never truly close.